Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe and share the video. Muchly appreciate that. If you come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes, as we are building an integral Habs channel where you get the true vibe of what's going on with the Habs. You get a true, realistic view of it. Not sugarcoat nothing. We don't do that here. We don't use clickbait, and we don't go into rumorville unless we have to. And usually, what I mean by that is addressing the guys that are putting out the rumors. We tend to sometimes we see it overheating, and there's been a lot of it lately. So please hit the like, subscribe, and to those who view the channel, thank you for your support. Muchly appreciated. You're going to want to stay on for this one. This is a review of last night's, I don't know what you want to call that, absolute disgrace. I mean, it's one thing to lose to the Rangers 7-2. That's an elite team. 8-2 for the Seattle Kraken. And Montreal's okay? Really? 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 Somebody want to tell me that? Really? Okay. We're going to do the stats real fast because I'm really boiling. Good thing my last tape, I didn't have enough space and ran out of time because it was heated. So I'm trying to retape here. All right. 8-2, as I just said. Yeah, hard to imagine, isn't it? Four goals scored again. One by the Habs in the first period. Second period, 2 goals scored by the Kraken again. And then the third period, 2 more by the Kraken again, and 1 response from the Habs. 8-2. Montembeault started the game, and Montembeault was chased out of the net. And Primo didn't fare much better. And I'm amazed that this score didn't end up in the double digits. Ridiculous. And go look at the post game and the leadership responses. And I'll tell you, you're going to be shocked with some of what the problem is going on with our team. All right, so defenseman Brandon Montour had 3 goals and 1 assist. He was phenomenal, and I don't understand. This is the type of guy. Yeah, okay, he might be in his 30s. This is the type. They got 3 guys they picked up in the offseason. Him and Chandler, Stevenson, and Schwartz. All guys that won championships, Stanley Cups. No wonder. What were the Habs thinking in the offseason? You couldn't pick up a guy like this that would have helped these kids? This is what you're talking about. These are the type of players we need brought into our team. Someone as gritty as Montour. So the Seattle Kraken destroyed the Montreal Canadiens 8-2 on Tuesday night. Schwartz scored once with 2 helpers. Chandler Stevenson added 4 assists. All the 3 big names I just mentioned. Look at how many points each of those guys had. They know how to win. As the Seattle Kraken snapped a 3-game losing streak, Oliver Bjorkstrand and Oleksiak had a goal and an assist each, while Riker Evans and Toivonen scored as well. McCann pitched 2 assists, and Joey Decord made 28 stops. 28 stops! What's wrong with our club? What? Our 2 goaltenders can't stop a beach ball. All right. So we got Montour first star, of course. I mean, he got a hat trick and an assist. He was phenomenal. +2. Second star, Chandler Stevenson, 4 assists. What more can you say? The quality of these guys. You got to even like it, even being the opposition. Schwartz, 1 goal, 2 assists, +2. Like, what does that tell you? Look, 25 seconds into the game, we got a goal. Jamie Oleksiak, assisted by Burkowski and Chandler Stevenson. There's your first goal. I mean, 25 seconds. Are we seeing this a lot? 25 seconds and 54 seconds the other night? There's not a problem. Okay, 3:49. Riker Evans, assisted by Jordan Eberle and Jared McCann. 7:27. Jaden Schwartz, assisted by Chandler Stevenson and Montour again on the power play. So there goes our penalty kill. 10:33. Oliver Borkstrand, assisted by Swartz. 16-11. Finally, Cole Caulfield gets one due to the hard work of Logan Mailloux and Slavkovsky. Good to see. Slav was trying. You could see there was some effort there, and he was pretty upset. You could see it. They all made mistakes. But I seen a good effort from him. 132 in the second period. Montour gets another one, assisted by Borkstrand and Chandler Stevenson on the power play. 8:44. Who are we talking about again? Brandon Montour, assisted by Alexiak and Jaden Swartz. Third period. Brandon Montour, assisted by Jared McCann, assisted by Chandler Stevenson on the power play. Oh, our penalty kill looks lovely tonight. 15-14. Elio Tolvanen, assisted by Josh Mahora and Mattis Beniers. 15-28 towards the end of the game, the end of the third period. Anderson gets one with a nice pass. Well, Struble passes it to Matheson. Matheson puts a nice pass up to Josh Anderson, goes on and tries to out-deke Decord. Doesn't, but the rebound comes out and he roofs it. So at least we had that. And that's about the most positive thing I can say about Josh Anderson, because there's not a whole lot. All right. And then we get to the shot department. 30 shots. Montreal actually outshot them to 23. But our goaltenders and our defense played so pathetically that they only needed 23 shots to get 8. And they're lucky that it wasn't 13 goals, because I could see it easily. Hits 19-16 for us. Faceoffs 135-29 for them. 3 for 6 on the power play. They really improved their power play in last night's game. 0 for 4. There goes our power play right down the tubes. Penalty minutes 12-26 for us. Giveaways 13-11, and we couldn't take advantage of that for them. Takeaways 4-2 for them. Block shots 17-13 for them. I'm not even going to get into talking about the penalties, because this was a disgrace. Sorry. What more can you say? It's what was that last night? What was that? And we ain't got problems in Montreal. It's one thing to lose to the New York Rangers 7-2, and that's a hard enough pill, because you should still never let yourself get blown out to that degree. This was the Seattle Kraken. They're not in the top 6 to 8 teams in the league. This is a team that's more at Montreal's level. 8-2. You hearing me right? We, like the title says, we got obliviated. It was outrageous. And I'm so tired of what I'm seeing. And, sorry, I'm very passionate and I'm a realist. So you put those two things together, sorry, I can't sugarcoat bullshit when my team is not deserving of compliments. I'm not going to give it to them. I blame a lot of this on coaching. And I'm coming right down to the point. I love Marty St. Louis as who he was, and and he was good for the first process of this rebuild. But he's showing signs of something. He's got attributes I don't like. Such as, you pick on a kid, you ruin this kid's game, and this kid's trying to work through it. Jack, you have broken the machine of what this kid could be, because don't give me the crap. I've seen your interviews. You do have this kid as your punching bag under the microscope. Don't give me the crap. there's 3 to 4 other young defensemen that are not held to the same accountability. Don't give me the crap. Your veterans aren't even held to accountability. Josh Anderson wouldn't have been back in Montreal after the way he played last season, and he's playing that way again. Getting an odd goal doesn't cut it. It's the overall play, and a message needs to be sent. But to treat veterans like they got to pass when their play is not there. Josh Anderson needs to go to Laval. Dvorak, you either send him to Laval or ship him out. I can put another player in there. I'm thinking, let me think who else is there that we could put into this equation. I'm trying to think here. Anyhow, those are the 2 right off the top. You're wasting space. Because the guys who should be leaders of the team aren't being held accountable. So there's a problem. And that comes with either a coach that is inexperienced. Marty's inexperienced. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here because he was, like I said, he was good for the inspiration of these young players in the beginning, certain players that came up his way. He seems to have a chip on his shoulder, though, with guys that are the broody side of things. And I don't mind you cracking down on Jack Eye for his positional play, but you better damn well be counting everybody under the same brush, which is where the problem lies. Because Barron, come on. And some people will defend him, others will see it the way I see it. I think he's below Jack Eye. I think the 2 of them got major issues, but in different areas. And Jack Eye has played better. However, last night, they all sucked. And they all looked lost. But you got veteran defensemen. Matheson, Savard, who looked pathetic. They looked at each other like, who do I cover? Does that not send you a message, Marty? When your veterans don't know who the hell to cover under your hybrid defensive system, then nobody knows what the hell's going on. Us watching and us who've coached, us who have played, we might not have been like you, and not, okay, I'm not an ex-NHLer, but I've been at my level. I understand the game quite well, and I'm sorry when your veterans don't get it immediately. When I coached, something didn't work. You didn't wait to keep getting destroyed forever before your season's toast. You just you toss the plan that doesn't work. But we see even in the post and pre-interviews, when Mark's questioned, he gets very up in arms when he's given legitimate questions. What about this hybrid system, and you can tell. I implemented it, is what it comes down to, and I'm not going to give up on it because that becomes pride. And when you want your team to sink because of your pride, we got a problem. Now, like I just said, that's either lack of experience behind the bench, and you need a veteran to come in and back you up. And I've been for that all along, a veteran coming in. I think you need it, and it's evident. I'm sorry, I'm not on the bus for your defensive coach. I'm straight up. I am not happy with what I see. Some people say, oh, yeah. No, doesn't wash with me. Sorry, this is not for faint of heart, this video. This is for those who can deal with reality, okay? I give compliments when they're earned. When I see effort and I see everybody buying in and putting 8 players, no hit. There's something wrong there? Do you think? Do you really think? Chris Nyland was on, and Maxime Lapierre were on Tony Marinaro's show last night. And I vary with where I look at a lot of channels. But last night's episode, I had to look at it because I love Nuckies. Just love them, adore them. And Lapierre, I have a lot of respect for too. These are 2 players you would have never seen, except, and they made that clear, what's going on the ice. They see it clearly. Something's got to give. This system has to go out the window. It doesn't work. Why the hell are we not clogging the center ice? Knuckles got a valid point there. Why? And I see why Tony Marinaro lost his head. This was an absolute disgrace. So why? What is the problem that we can't clog the center ice? The amount of plays that you could convert going the other way and break up, and we've got a great transition game. You turn the game around just with that alone. But your defensive hybrid system that not one of the players can understand is really working for you. This is now a point where I love you, Marty. I don't know. I right now, you are great for inspiration. And I still think you can do things, but you got to get over your pride. And somebody's got to teach you how to hold accountability equally for every player on the ice. It's great to have different relationships with different players. I get that. When I coached, I understand that. But one thing I had, and my coaching staff had, was the same accountability for each player. That's a different ball game, and you don't have that, son. You do not have that. Like I said, is it inexperience or is it pride? Get over yourself, Marty. We love you. We back you as fans, but get over it. This is on you. This is on you and your coaching staff. And now I'm calling out your buddies who brought you in, and they should have brought you in. I got no beef that you're all friends. But I am calling out Jeff Gordon. I'm calling out Hughes, who is the GM. I'm calling out, even it might take Molson to say to those two. He might be it might have to be said, Marty might be your friend, but you got to deal with him. Somebody's got to stop this. Somebody's got to tell him, pride's over. Your system doesn't work. We're hiring someone to back you up. We still believe in you, but you need some things that you need to learn from an experienced coach backing you up. Now, whether you hire somebody that is which I would do, I would want them to have that defensive side of things so that they can implement this thing. Because it's evident the three coaches in Montreal right now, head coach, two assistants, don't have a clue with this hybrid system. And I don't know, do you know any other system? I think you do, but I think it's pride. That's my opinion. But I do think you need a defensive specialist. And I think it's either got to be in that coach that you should hire to assist Marty and groom Marty. And then he also shows Marty how you show fair accountability, because your veterans are making a lot of mistakes. And effort-wise, Josh Anderson shouldn't be in the NHL. Josh Anderson, I don't give a god darn that, Lord forgive me, that Josh Anderson's a veteran. I'm not buying the bullshit. That's why John Tortorella didn't buy the bullshit. I don't buy the bullshit. Josh Anderson needs a stint in the AHL, just like Yoel Armia, when he needed it, he sucked it up and went there twice, and he came back a better player. There's no reason for Josh Anderson not to have to go through it. And if he can wake up or not. Dvorak, you either send him there with him or you trade him. Either way, if you risk losing one of them on waivers, you're doing yourself a favor, because these guys, you darn well know you're done with Dvorak at the trade deadline, and you're wishing that you could get somebody to take Anderson. So you wouldn't be losing anything. You'd only be doing yourself a damn favor. Stop wasting and stop using guys that are not quality leaders. They don't want to play hockey? Send them elsewhere. And then you make a move. You got to bring somebody in here, especially in that front group. That forward group needs a couple leaders, and they need gritty leaders that are hard workers. The Montour types of players, that mentality, the Chandler Stephen type of mentality, the Schwartz mentality, guys that bang, crash, bang, and put it on the line. This team, for when we do have a forecheck, it's a joke. That at best is an okay night. But we so suffer in that department of putting it all on. 8 players didn't have a hit last night. Maxim Lapierre and Chris Nyland are on the money. These are guys that had a heart. And I sure as hell ain't seen a lot of heart. And I sure as hell ain't seen a lot of heart from the veterans. That's where I'm seeing a bad problem. When I can see in the post interviews, and the two that stood out to me as positives was Jake Evans. That was a leader. He told you how it was, and he wasn't happy. You could see it, the emotion in that man. And he's played hard. Jake Evans has been one of the few bright spots this season that has played hard every night. Yuri Slafkovsky makes mistakes at times, but I'll tell you what, he puts it out there. And yeah, he lost it with the media a bit last night. But that kid looked like he wanted to cry because you could see the absolute disgust he had with the way his team played. Knowing that they're buying tickets for over $200, that's another issue in itself. But you're paying that type of money, and this is what you see? For millionaires? Most of these guys are millionaires. Really? Really? That's what you're going to give the fan base. And yes, I'm sorry. I'm passionate. I love my team. I love what this team used to be, and I want it back. I want heart and soul. I want effort, and there was none. And this is an ongoing problem. And people want to say, oh, they got a good culture. Bullshit. Bullshit. I say bullshit. You got a touch of a culture of where they stood up for each other. But last night, I seen some emotion from Evans. I seen some emotion from Slav. I seen some emotion from Jackeye. I seen some emotion from Struble. Where the frustration that but it should have happened sooner. You don't wait till you're behind 6-7 goals the third period. These guys should have been sending a message like Chris Nyland immediately when that got to the point of 3. I think with Nyland in his day, you had to been down 3 goals. Nyland would have took it into his hands to do something to wake up his team. Same with Lapierre. He couldn't fight like Nyland, but I'll tell you what, he sure got into him, got his head handed to him many times. But what I'll say about him is he had balls and he had a heart and he worked hard. And yeah, he was more your guy to crash a goaltender, like he said. And that's so true. But he did it. He didn't back down. And believe me, in his years in Montreal, he couldn't fight. He started to learn how to fight elsewhere when he got traded because he was fighting so much. But that's a guy who cares. That's a guy who puts it on the line. And that's what we're lacking. I'm sorry when I see the post interviews and I see your captain's response, and it's the same every pre and post interview. I'm starting to have an issue. And this was my concern, that he wasn't ready to be captain. I'm saying it because a true captain, Yvon Cournoyer, Serge Savard, Bob Gainey, Guy Carbonneau, and Larry Robinson when he filled in at times. Mike Keane. I'm listing you great captains. Even Brian Gionta. This would not be acceptable. You would see them just like Patrice Bergeron in Boston. Things are going wrong. He's taking his teammates aside, right in public, right on the ice, and he's talking to his boys. That's a captain. Mike Matheson, same thing. You're the leader on the defense, you and Savard. Larry Robinson immediately would have handled his fellow defensemen. When guys like Chelios were new kids on the block, and you had, the Ludwigs and stuff. You think he didn't and the Peter Savotas. You think he didn't reel that in? Immediately there was a response. So what the hell is going on with Matheson and Savard? Where's the leadership? And Josh Anderson, that's like I said, that's why you need to be in AHL. You need to send a message. Management now needs to stand up and step in. And I'm sorry, Patrick Laney can't fix this. He's not the type of breed of player that'll fix this. This nonsense, the way they're playing horrifically, and it's okay. In the responses I see from some of the players, it's okay. That was, I'm sorry, created by this coaching staff. That is just okay to make mistakes. No, it's not. That was fine the first season and a half, but bit by bit, accountability's got to go up. Now we're in I think we're in year 3, the middle of our rebuild. You got to show progression. This team has stepped so far back, it's unbelievable. This has got to be the worst defensive team I've ever seen in my life. And it's all due to pride of a system that does not work. Please, management, step in. I mean, I love Marty, but hire somebody. If you can't get a coach, at least hire a defensive consultant like Larry Robinson. He might not come, like he's made it clear, after no wonder Montreal's insulted him so many times over the years and done him wrong. But I'm sure he loves the team enough that he'd go, like he was a consultant for the Blues. They won the Stanley Cup. And we know what his coaching record was. He won Stanley Cups. He has made it very clear he'll consult. Get a guy like him in there to consult, because I'm sorry, you need it. There's nobody in that 3-man system that knows how to put together a defensive system. That's evident. Evident. And this hybrid system's right out to lunch. You need a specialist. And Larry, there's no better candidate. No better candidate. I'm sure, even if you got a guy like Joel Quenneville. I mean, he might have been an ex-coach, but I'm sure Quenneville was a defenseman. Really? Something needs to give. Now, whether you bring in a coach to assist, because Marty needs to also learn how to hold accountability fairly and not destroy his youngsters. Because if you let Jack-Eye play the way he can, with being responsible to his positioning and work at it, you can't pick one guy out when there's 4 other young defensemen making tons of mistakes too. You even got your veteran defensemen making mistakes, so don't give me the garbage. Okay? Don't give me that garbage. And then you got forwards that are useless as a tit on a bowl. Josh Anderson, like Torch said, I don't know if this guy's actually named. And Alex Newhook, what the hell is that? Miniature Josh. There's another guy who could use a stint in the AHL. He has played poorly the entire season. Don't give me the garbage. I'm not here to pop up personalities here because, some people want to. I'm going to give you the realistic. I was against that trade as well. He's not a bad third. He's nothing more than a third liner. He's not even playing like a third liner right now. This guy's playing like a guy who's a fourth liner and a scratch periodically, who might need a stint in the AHL. But no, this management and coaching staff is too damn proud to send these guys down to the AHL and send a message. This will not be acceptable. Now, leadership-wise, Jake Evans is a better choice. Gallagher probably should have got the captaincy until you figured out who your leaders were. And Gooley showed signs of being a better captain. So that being said, that's what needs to happen. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe, and share this video. We'll catch you in the next one after the Caps. God help us. But from there, thank you for joining me. Be positive, respectful, and we'll talk more. God bless.